There we go. All right. So that's better. All right. So we'll get this started. This is decision one, the responsible decision. The buck stops here. From this moment forward, I will accept responsibility for my past. I understand that the beginning of wisdom is to accept the responsibility of my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move in a bigger, brighter future of my own choosing. Never again will I blame my parents, my spouse, my boss, or employees for my present situation. Neither my education or lack of one, my genetics, my circumstantial ebb and flow of everyday life will affect my future in a negative way. If I allow myself to blame these uncontrollable forces for my lack of success, I will be forever caught in the web of the past. I will look forward. I will not let my history control my destiny. The buck stops here. I accept the responsibility for my past. I am responsible for my success. I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of decisions I have made. My decisions have always been governed by my thinking. Therefore, I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of how I think. Today, I will begin the process of changing where I am mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially by changing the way I think. My thoughts will be constructive, never destructive. My mind will live in the solutions of the future. I will not dwell in the problems of the past. I will seek the association of those who are working and striving to bring about positive changes in the world. I will never seek comfort by associating with those who have decided to be comfortable. When faced with the opportunity to make a decision, I will make one. I understand that God did not put in me the ability to always make right decisions. He did, however, put in me the ability to make a decision and then make it right. The rise and fall of my emotional tide will never deter me from my course. When I make a decision, I will stand by it. My energy will go into making the decision. I will waste none on second thoughts. My life will not be an apology, it will be a statement. The buck stops here. I control my thoughts, I control my emotions. In the future, when I am tempted to ask the question, why me? I will immediately counter with the answer, why not me? Challenges are a gift, an opportunity to learn. Problems are the common thread running through the lives of great men and women. In the times of adversity, I will not have a problem to deal with. I will have a choice to make. My thoughts will be clear. I will make the right choice. Adversity is preparation for greatness. I will accept the preparation. Why me? Why not me? I will be prepared for something great. I accept responsibility for my past. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I am responsible for my success. The buck stops here. So I know I've read this a few times with you guys, but the meaning is always very powerful. And you always extract more meaning out of these things. Okay. As you read these things, you don't want to just read it and then that's it. You want to read it and feel it. But more than anything, you want to read it and extract information, extract the meaning, you know, because you want to know what they're talking about here and not just reading it, right? Like in the beginning here, it says, from this moment forward, I will accept responsibility for my past. I understand that the beginning of wisdom is to accept the responsibility for my own problems, and that by accepting responsibility for my past, I free myself to move in a bigger, brighter future for my own choosing. So what's happening here is this, is that they're telling you to take responsibility. I told you guys the most successful people in the world take responsibility for everything. You have a guy that's driving, gets hit by a drunk driver. The guy doesn't blame the drunk driver. He's actually asking, I wonder what I did to attract this event into my life. I wonder what I was thinking about. I wonder what I did to attract this, because I understand that everything in my life I attract into my life. So therefore, I know I attracted this. What did I do to attract this? As opposed to blaming the guy for hitting him, right? No, this is not blaming yourself. This is just taking responsibility of 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 what's happening in your life by understanding that you, as an individual, attract everything into your life, the good and the bad, okay? And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just you have to learn from it, right? Because again, your subconscious beliefs are exactly what's manifesting the things into your life. And so there must have been a subconscious belief internally within this person that attracted this event to his life. It's not that I wish a drunk driver hits me. This is not what he was saying. It was probably maybe he was feeling something that attracted some type of event that caused this like dramatic experience for him, right? So again, this is just something that happens. Another great example is like I remember reading this book, I forgot the name of the book, but the author was like this admiral from the Navy. He knew this man who would always cycle every single day. This guy would cycle, 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 and he would always go down this steep hill. It was the same route every day. And this guy was a fit man, strong man. One day, cycling, boom, gets hit by a car. This guy gets paralyzed from the waist down. And he said, never once did I hear this man complain. Never once did I hear this man blame. It was just what happened. He accepted the event and he continued on with his life. And he was paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of his life. That's crazy. That's what I'm talking about. Now, the next part here, never will I blame. So remember, we're talking about blaming here. When you blame people, and it's going to talk about it here, when you blame people, when you blame events, when you blame other people or other things for the circumstances in your life, what you're doing is you're giving your power away, okay? You lose all power. You have no power over anything in your life when you're just blaming, because now you're saying that the reason my life is this way is because he did this or she did this or they did this or that did this, or they're just blaming everybody. Like, it's like, dude, like, when are you going to take the responsibility for your own life? When are you taking responsibility for your own success, right? So never will I again blame my parents, my spouse, my boss, or employees for my present situation. Neither my education or lack of one, my genetics or circumstantial ebb and flow of everyday life will affect my future in a negative way. If I allow myself to blame these uncontrollable forces for my lack of success, I will be forever caught in the web of the past. I will look forward. I will not let my history control my destiny. Because if you continuously blame other people for the circumstances in your life, you are giving away your power. You have no power to change those circumstances. If my life is all messed up because my dad was the way he was, then do you know who needs to change in order to fix my life? My dad needs to change, right? That's what happens when you blame. That's why blaming takes away all your power. This is why it doesn't serve you. It's very powerful when you really realize this. The buck stops here. I accept responsibility for my past. I am responsible for my success. I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially, because of my decisions. My decisions have always been governed by my thinking. Specifically, your decisions are governed by your subconscious beliefs, right? By your thinking, subconscious beliefs. Therefore, I am where I am today, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, because of how I think. Because your thoughts are dictated by your subconscious beliefs. Now, today I will change the process of where I am mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially by changing the way I think, by changing your subconscious beliefs. It's all here, bro. It's crazy. It makes me laugh because it's the truth. Everywhere you go, you're going to see the same thing. Every person that's written any book about personal development, they all talk about the same exact information, slightly presented in a very different way. Okay? Slightly presented in a different way, but they're talking about the same information over and over and over and over again. Okay? It's just a different perspective. So my thoughts will be constructive, never destructive, which is important, right? If you think destructive thoughts, you attract destructive events. If you think constructive thoughts, you attract constructive events. My mind will live in the solution of the future. It will not dwell on the problems of the past. Too many people do this. They just dwell in the past. They dwell in the past. They dwell in the past. They talk about the past and what happened and how they did this and how they're such a victim, right? It's It's such a trap. You want to escape the trap. I will seek the association of those who are working and striving to bring about positive changes in the world. I will not seek comfort associating with those who have decided to be comfortable. This is very important here. The people you hang out with have a strong influence on how you think and how you act and the overall quality of your life. You are the average of the five people you hang out with most in your life, right? The average of the five people you hang out with most in your life. So if these five people are amazing people striving to become better people and striving to make a great life for themselves, you're going to be the sixth person in that group who's going to move in that direction as well. But if you hang out with these five people and these five people are people who, they've settled, they're like, don't really want to do anything. They just have a job and they just, make what they make and that's it. And they don't really care to make any more. And they don't really care to make a life that's credible for themselves. And they just kind of live an average, mediocre life, right? You're going to be the sixth person in that group that's going to live a life just like them. This is why it's very important to start slowly but surely pushing those people out of your life. I don't care who they are. They could be like people you really love and care about, maybe parents, maybe brothers and sisters, maybe cousins, maybe a friend you've known for 20 years. But you see it, you want more and they just kind of hold you back. Like, why are you trying to do that? Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to be happy? It's just, you see it, right? They ask you these questions like if you're weird for striving for more in your life. It isn't weird. Don't try to be normal. Don't conform to the masses because the majority of the people live just like that. They just, oh, I just, want to live a mediocre life. And they're not really happy. You know why? You know how they're not happy? Because they bitch and complain all the time about everything. A happy person doesn't bitch and complain, right? A happy person is excited and motivated and inspired with their life. And they're pushing for more and they're growing and expanding too. And that's what makes them happy. And at the same time, if they can contribute, that brings even more happiness into their life. All right, next paragraph. When faced with the opportunity to make a decision, I will make one. I understand that God did not put in me the ability to make a decision. He did, however, put in me the ability, he didn't put the ability to always make the right decisions. He did, however, put in me the ability to make a decision and then make it right. The rise and fall of emotional tide will not deter me from my course. When I make a decision, I will stand behind it. My energy will go into making a decision. I will not waste a second thought. My life will not be an apology. It will be a statement. Decisions, right? Dude, a lot of people are not successful because they don't know how to make decisions. They don't know how to make decisions, or they take too long to make decisions. Or like you notice successful people make decisions quick. Done, And there's another letter that talks about decisions, but they make it quick and they stick with it. Unsuccessful people make their decisions very slowly. Usually the opportunity passes them before they can make a decision. And then when they do make a decision, they change it very quickly. They're always changing, as opposed to just making that decision right. So say, for instance, you decide to get into real estate, right? Then it gets hard. And it's hard. I'm not going to do real estate. I'm going to do something else. So you're changing. So it took you forever to make a decision to get into real estate. But now you're in real estate. You're starting to move. But then it gets hard. And you're like, this is too hard. I'm going to quit. I'm going to go do something else. Cool. You go do something else. The second it gets hard, you're going to quit again and you're going to try something else. And this cycle will never end. All right. I'm sure some of us are guilty of doing this. So because that's what happens. You think you're expecting things to be easy, and so you keep on changing your decision every time because you think it should never be hard. The second it gets challenging, you're quitting, right? This is what unsuccessful people do, and this is why they're so unsuccessful because they never stick to anything. They never just stick to one thing and just get very good at that, and it happens all the time. Okay, so. And the last part, my life will not be an apology. It will be a statement. I'm sorry that I lived my life. That's pathetic. It's sad, right? No, I lived my life. I'm happy that I lived my life, you know? I did my best. I wasn't perfect, but at the end of it, I was proud of myself. The buck stops here. I control my thoughts, I control my emotions. Control your thoughts, control your emotions, right? We're talking about controlling your thoughts and controlling your emotions. You can't control anything else in your life. You can control your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. That's it. If you can control those three things, you ultimately control the destiny of your life. So in the future, when I am tempted to ask, why me? You know, when bad things happen to you, you're like, God, why me? Why is this happening to me? You know, I've asked this question. We're all guilty. You know, this is a terrible question to ask. It's not a good question to ask, you know, because it's like a blaming question. Why is this happening to me? You know, because you're not trying to extract any substance from the experience. You're just kind of like complaining and bitching about these events happening to you. So when you're tempted to ask this question, you will immediately counter with the answer, why not me? You know, why not me? Why, you know, because this question is more like, all right, this is happening to me now. I get it. I wonder, you know, what can I learn from this experience? You know, what did I do to attract this experience into my life? What do I need to learn from this experience in order for me to kind of move on and break this cycle, right? If you're continuously having challenges financially, that means subconsciously you have a limiting belief or a belief that disempowers you about finances. And so the reason you're continuously facing these challenges with finances is because you have to learn a lesson. What lesson is that? And so if you can approach it that way, you can learn the lesson and break that loop faster. Because if not, you can stay stuck in this loop for the rest of your life. It really can. Okay. It just loops and loops and loops and loops, the same old problems, same old problems, same old problems. And I know you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Challenges are gifts, an opportunity to learn. Problems are a common thread running through the lives of great men and women. Problems never go away. Challenges never go away. Like I said, the more successful you become, the bigger challenges you're going to have to face. All right. But you get better. That's just it. You get better at facing these challenges. You get better at handling challenges. So that's what this is all about. You slowly but surely you're gonna face more and more challenges that are more and more that are bigger and bigger and bigger, right? They're going to require more and more of you to overcome them. Specifically, it's going to require you to learn skills to be able to overcome bigger and bigger and bigger challenges. And these skills are going to lead you down the road of success. Because through these skills, you're going to be able to accomplish more things in your life, make more money, right? Like I said, someone who makes $1 million a year, they can handle multi-million-dollar problems and solve them. That's why they get compensated the way they do. Someone who makes $1 billion a year, they can handle multi-billion-dollar problems and they get compensated for their skills, for their ability to handle those problems. Okay. And this is why they get paid as much as they do, right? As realtors, we handle some big problems sometimes, some expensive problems. This is why we make the money we make, right? The biggest thing about being a realtor is not selling houses. We solve problems. Okay. Anybody can sell a freaking house. The process is simple. But when you face a problem, like maybe dealing with a listing agent who's insane, right? When you're trying to negotiate the inspection objection and the resolution for your client, right? That's why you do get paid good money because you're dealing with this types of stuff, you know? I know it comes up with, you know, different it manifests in very different ways, you know? Sometimes it's a listing agent that's crazy. Sometimes it's a buyer that's crazy. Sometimes it's a seller that's crazy. Sometimes it's just weird situations with the financing. Sometimes it's other like you never know, right? But you know what you do? You solve the problem. You solve it, you solve it, you solve, you solve it, you solve it, right? You figure out what you need to do to figure out find a solution and you solve the problem, right? We've already done this. You know, for those of you who already closed deals, we've dealt with these problems, bro. And what did you do? You had to find a solution, right? You spoke to me. We had to talk to other people, whoever we needed to talk to solve the situation. But you're scrambling around to try to find a solution. And You know, you keep on doing that. You build a lot of skills. You get paid more and more and more because you can handle, you can handle, say, three deals at the same time where each of them are having problems and you're dealing with all of them, right? Imagine, because you've been dealing with one deal at a time, right? Imagine dealing with two deals at a time, three deals at a time, and they all have problems. And you're already stressed with the one, right? But now, because you've already dealt with one, you can handle the two and the three and the four and the five at the same time, right? I've had 10 under contract at once. Just you kind of scrambling around, right? Just trying to solve all these problems, bro. But at the end of the day, you get compensated and it's awesome. And you learn a lot of skills, which is what at the end of the day, the skills matter more than the money. The skills matter more than anything because those skills, they stick with you forever. And that you build up those skills, bro, you build them up to being making six figures a year, making seven figures a year. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, In times of adversity, I will not have a problem to deal with. I will have a choice to make. My thoughts will be clear. I will make the right choice. Adversity is preparation for greatness. I will accept the preparation. Why me? Why not me? I will be prepared for something great. I accept responsibility for my past. I control my thoughts. I control my emotions. I am responsible for my success. The book stops here. These letters are awesome. Okay. I highly suggest you guys print these letters out, put them in your binder, use them. You can read. I used to just read one a day, it was just a part of what I would do. That's why it's just like a natural part of what me, like I can read this stuff pretty quick. And I extract meaning out of it all the time. And the meaning always changes. The more I grow, the more the meaning evolves as I evolve. Okay. And you're going to notice that. So before I let you guys go, any questions, any comments?
Everything you said makes sense. That was me this week.
I know, I know.
Exactly. It always makes me think, okay, now what do I need to figure out to stop things from repeating? So
I
it's
know.
always jogging my mind. Thank you.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, I was using that very specific example because Maria was going through it. And then I'm thinking about you too, Jules.
I know. I just want to be done with this loop. I feel like I have been stuck in that loop, and I feel like now the Christmas season is going to be over. I will be done with all these crazy hours at that store. So, I can transfer that time back here because I've got to get out of the loop. I just do.
No, of course. I know. And you're going to, you're right there. I think the biggest part of your loop, and this is just me thinking, is you really establishing that deep faith that it will work,
Yeah, I think I do lack that. I do. I really start to wonder because I feel like I say the right things to myself. I write it all down. I journal. I do all those things. And of course, study everything you give us. But then I'm like, okay, but I must not be believing it at some level. Um, so, because I'm looking at people like Ruby, who has jumped in with all hands and feet and just, she must believe at a different level because things are happening. And Maria, and just, I can list everybody on the team really. And it's just wonderful to watch. So I keep going, okay, I got to get that. What do I need to believe in myself?
No,
So,
you're right there. The belief takes time. Okay, so here, let me just give you an analogy. This is just to be an analogy for like this is basically you building up the belief. So think of it as this is a loading bar, right? We all seen loading bars on your computer and everything when something is loading, right? So it looks like this, right? It's like slowly filling up, right? You're at 10%, right? And then it's slowly filling up. Then you're eventually at 20% and so forth and so on. Now, this is you getting yourself to believe. The more you do this every single day, the more you repeat it every day, what you want in your life, what you want to believe in your life, because right now, subconsciously, you believe something different, right? And what you really need to do is change what you believe at a subconscious level in order for you to actually really believe it and manifest it into your life. Okay. And this is why the repetition is the most important thing in anything in anything I've ever told you. If you can just repeat, you're going to eventually, slowly but surely, fill up this loading bar. And this loading bar is you believing, right? This is the belief loading bar, right? This is the belief
I
for
like that.
So
like that.
you're right there, Jules. You're probably beyond 50%. You're probably like around a 60-70%, 60-70%. And then you're slowly like believing more, and you know that you are, because like you catch yourself
Yeah.
more than ever. You probably have more faith now that you ever had before in the past, right? I'm sure you doubt less now than you used to doubt in the past. And so it's because you're further down this loading bar, and you're if until you get to 100%, then it's gonna be automatic. But even when you get to 100%, think of it like life is continuously acting on you and pushing the loading bar back. And so it's going to continue to try to erase it back. And the more you kind of lack on or slack on like repeating stuff and looking at your folder and repeating the information or being exposed to information that empowers you, that you can very easily go track backwards on this loading bar and start not believing again. This is
Yeah.
why once you get yourself to even to 100%, to keep it at 100%, you still have to keep yourself, you have to still be repeating the information to keep yourself here. But once you're here, you're a badass. You're going to be manifesting like a mofo, bro. It's going to be easy for you to manifest, especially for women. Women are very powerful with their magnetic field, more powerful than the men, because you are the divine expression of the feminine energy, which is the magnetic field, by the way. Okay. So you guys have a bigger magnetic field than men, because you guys are more centered and more designed to be this way. Men are the ones that really just are out there taking the actions to go. This is why women can drive men, right? Women drive men to take action. Women drive men to go out there and either fight or to protect their family, provide for their family. And us men will go through hell and back for our families, for a woman. We really would. We'll go to war and then come back. We'll do it. Why? Because we are the divine expression of the masculine, and that's what the masculine is supposed to do, right? So once a woman really kind of balances her energy and she has a man, she can really drive him to go do great things for them. But as long as it's being done in a way that's balanced and based on love. Because it can be done in a very egotistic way, where it's done in a very selfish way, where it's very destructive, especially for the man. The man will. That's why you see more men kill themselves, right? That when you see suicide rate, the suicide rate for men are way higher than women. Why is that? Because the second a man knows that they have no meaning in life, and we need meaning, we'd rather just be dead. We'd rather just off ourselves. And this is the reality of the situation. Because us men, because we are the masculine expression of divine consciousness, we need to be driven to do something to create our lives. And usually a woman provides us with that drive, So, and again, I went a little further in there with that, but I'm really emphasizing the fact that women are way more powerful with their magnetic fields than men are. So therefore, you guys are better at attracting events or situations or opportunities into your life than men are, right?
Just read that last night. I read that exact thing last night.
Oh, really? Nice. See, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, oh, I know you do. That's why the minute I feel like that bar starts to, I feel like it goes up to maybe 65-70%, and then it starts waning like a dead battery, going back to 50%. So then I have to go, okay, what do I need to do? And that folder is really helping, having that binder to just pull stuff out. That's, just to sit and start reading things. So.
No. Good. Yeah, I know you're almost there. You just keep going. I know your struggles. I know what you've been going through. And literally, I know you're almost there. But this is true for all of us. We all have our own struggles. We're all struggling our own way. We really are, so, but other than that, I mean, hopefully this was helpful for you guys. I always do my best to deliver. But other than that, I'll let you guys go. If you guys need anything, I'll be available. We're gonna be taking a break for the rest of this week.
Okay.
I don't plan to probably have a meeting because obviously Christmas Day is Monday. Tomorrow's Saturday. If I do have a training tomorrow, I'll let you guys know. But if you guys gonna be with family, I completely understand. It's Christmas weekend, and so I'm gonna be working. I'll be taking Sunday off and Monday off, but I'll be working today and tomorrow. But either way, if you guys need anything, I'll be available. Okay.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rick.
You guys are welcome.
Bye.
Great day.
Bye bye.